Welcome back everybody. Today we're gonna play Vyse on Lotus. Today's day 105 of playing every agent on every map. Today's agent Vyse has been nerfed recently, but only by a little bit. I still think she is pretty strong. Her wall is also one of the only sentinel usual things that can't be destroyed, it can only be triggered, and in general it is a really strong thing. Also, a Razor Vines not holding for that long is also, in my opinion, a pretty good thing, because you can then take the space, use them to stop the enemies from pushing out, and then pushing yourself after the Razor Vine is going down. And you can also combine that really well with some other util, for example, Raise, nades, or a take your molly. Starting off with A side defense. On A side defense you can do a pretty deep setup with a wall that is around right here, a thorns placed right here, and then you yourself are gonna play around the door area right here with thorns right there and a flash right here. With a setup like this you can basically play right here. As soon as your wall goes up you can pop these thorns and make it so the enemies can't really push. You can then peek out and try to shoot them, or you can have your teammates trying to spray them or push them with util. And it is in general pretty good for main. And then as soon as they open the door, you can pop your other thorns, and then, or wait for the enemies to come in, pop your other thorns, flash, peek out, and collect your free kills.
Retrieving flash.
Vyse is really strong at holding certain areas and making so the enemies have to stop with their push. So that's why using setups like these are pretty good. Don't use all of your setup in one singular choke, because like that the enemies are gonna have a easy time just baiting it all out. They can get in, maybe just one player can get in and bait all of the Vyse util. But spreading your util out like this can be really effective. Another really good thing is a wall either right here to keep the enemies in the tree area itself, or a wall like this to isolate certain enemies with, combined with either a flash up here. This flash right here is a pretty good one because it can also flash people on main, so you can play close here. You can even play close here with a flash like that, or you can play close here, hold this, as soon as your wall goes up you flash, you peek out, and you collect your free kills. Other than that, also using your flash towards backside can be pretty effective. Just make sure you to always pick it up again after you have flashed, because then it is harder for the enemies to destroy the flash, and you're gonna get more value out of it. Other than that, you can also stop the enemies while they are planting. So for example, if you're coming in for a retake and you still have some thorns, you can use them like this. Stop them from planting for main, or if they are planting backside, you could just throw one right here and make sure they can't really get out of the site. You can then use some other util to stop the enemies from coming in. For example, take your mollies or a raise nade. Switching over towards B now. B is the spot where your wall is most of the times gonna be. You can use it either a little farther out like this, so you're gonna get later information, but it is harder to like jump spot by the enemies because they have to go further out. And you can then even decide to hold close here if they are trying to go for a jump spot. Same thing with close here. If you see anyone trying to jump out, or if you think they are trying to bait this wall, you can just wait here. And then you can either keep both of your thorns, use one of them as soon as your wall is triggered, use them behind the wall, kill the person that is in front of the wall. You can also combine the wall, by the way, with a flash like this. You can play close here. Your wall gets triggered, you flash, you shoot them. Or you can also play close here in link. Your wall gets triggered, you shoot them, and you get the free kill. And then you can use your thorns to stop the rest of the enemies from coming in as well. You can just keep refreshing these, and in general it is a pretty good and strong thing you can do. Switching over towards C now. C is pretty similar. You can use your Vyse wall either here on these boxes. You can also do a weird Vyse wall like this one with a flash here. This Vyse wall isolates the people that are trying to come to site from here, because the other people can still like walk around and anything, but it is gonna be pretty hard for the people that are behind this wall to get out. You can flash, peek out, collect the kills. You can then even go up here on these boxes, jump up and peek over the wall right here. It is in general a pretty unexpected thing and also really strong. And you can also decide to use thorns close here to stop the enemies from pushing out towards backside, or if you have another teammate here, just hold them to hold the close corner right here. Either from this spot or from pillar, so nobody can get really into sight unless they're like TPing in or something like that. And then again, you can also use your thorns to stop the enemies from getting out when they're trying to go for a plant. And it's gonna make it really hard for the enemies to get out like that. For your ults, I recommend you only use it on retakes. So a C retake would look something like this, with a ult right here in this corner, similar to a Killjoy ult. You're gonna get almost every enemy unless they are playing like in this close corner right there. For B, it is either this corner here,
My ultimate's ready.
Here in heaven, to get all of B.
My ultimate's ready.
Or if you are coming from A, you can also use the ult like this one.
My ultimate's ready.
All of these 3 ults are pretty strong if you want to retake B. And then for A, you can use a ult like this one if you feel like they're not playing in main.
My ultimate's ready.
If you're feeling like they are playing towards side, you can also use a ult like this one. And we'll get all of side, even the dugout area, or the drop area right here, also all of 3. Or if you can take even more space, you can go all the way up here in this corner and pop your ult like this to get almost all of the people that are playing in main, get all of the people that are playing in 3 and make it really hard for the enemies to get out. Switching over towards attack. On attack, you can use the Vyse flash similarly to a breach flash. You can get close here in the beginning of the round and just throw your flash through the wall and flash. This flash is a pretty strong one because it flashes anyone that is coming into main, and it also stalls the people out that are trying to go close here and fight you in main, because they either have to flick up and shoot your rows and then can run again, so they have to stop for some time, or they're gonna get full flash and then you have a easier time killing them. In general, using this flash almost every round is not really a bad idea because you can also condition the enemies to think, yeah, you're going towards A whenever you flash, and then you can use that really good as a fake. For flank trips for A, or flank walls for A, I recommend either one like this, or even an earlier one right here. The earlier one gets you earlier information and is in general better. And the one close here also gets you information. It is mainly good if you are like faking A, get the information for that earlier. So I recommend this one when you're using it for a fake, and then the other one if you are going A actually. Other than that, you can also use your razor vines to stop people from pushing out of smokes. For example on stairs, same thing also on heaven, or if the door is broken right here, you can just throw one into the door and stop the enemies from pushing out like that. Other than that, you can also use your flash to flash into 3, or flash over towards the side, or even to use it as a aggressive flash in a really unexpected spot. For example, you can use it on stairs, place it on the floor, wait here in main. As soon as you think somebody is going to be there, you can flash, peek out and collect your 3 kills. For the ult, I recommend a ult either right here, or if you go all the way in 3, make sure it also gets all of the back side area. So it's going to be almost impossible for the enemies to play on the side. Switching over towards B. On B, you have to kind of be careful about these boxes if you want to have a flank trip for B. So I recommend you just place one either for A or for C. Or you can also use a one like this, but this one has a small gap in it, so people that are coming from C are going to be able to get past it without even triggering the wall. If you place it like this, the people can also just jump over here, so it isn't really that good of a wall. And it won't really give you that much flank information, so you can just use your wall either on A or on C, or you don't use a flank trip at all, and you use it for the side take, or for you to be able to hold the side afterwards. Another thing you can do is use a flash close here, flash B main, get the space here, get the information here, and then use it again for the side take. And then you can use razor vines here in CT, in heaven, or even in link. Always depending on where you think the enemies are coming from, and it makes it pretty hard for them to retake the site. You can then use your wall either towards CT, even in heaven to stop the enemies from really coming out, or even either close here if you want to get the early information, or close here if you want to isolate a fight on the person that is trying to come out there. For an ult, I recommend one like this here in main, or if you're splitting from B, you can also use one right here. Switching over towards C now. C flank trips are pretty simple. You can either use one here above these stairs, or one here close. The one above the stairs gives you earlier information, this one gives you later information, but if you want to like fake C, you can use this one. If you want to actually go C, I recommend this one. You can then use a flash here close to flash all the people that are in main and get information over them. You just have to kind of worry if the enemies are placing a one-way right here that your flash might not be able to get through. You can also use your flash through the mount area right here. Flash like this to get information over people playing behind mount, even close behind these boxes or in main. Both of these flashes are pretty effective and they can get you a lot of information. For a side take, I recommend you use your razor vines towards the CT area like this. Or if you want to take the side with just some util, you can use thorns on the backside. Use some damaging util right here and make it really hard for the people to get out. They're gonna take a lot of damage and you're gonna have an easier time taking the site. For flashes, you can use one close here. You can also use one for backside. Or one on the pillar. Stop the people from coming out. Another good razor wine is one right here,
Thorns are live.
or even deeper,
Rip and tear. Thorns
to
activated.
get all of the area in a pretty simple way. And then for ults, the ult I recommend you use for AC take is one like this. You get almost all of the side. The only part that you don't get is this corner right here. It is a small corner, big enough for one person, so if you have an enemy that's playing in this corner right here, they can dodge the ult, but you can also just spray that corner from main by just getting close here, and then shooting at around this area right here, even crouching, so the enemies can't really see you. And even if there is a smoke, you can know at around the time where you can like see this part of the wall, at this part of the wall, that you have to shoot right in this corner to get the person that is dodging the Vyse ult. If I had to give Vyse a rating from S to F, I'd actually give her the A tier. She is pretty good at stopping enemy pushes. Her flashes can also be used as an initiator tool, but she lacks a little bit in the map control department. You can use her wall as map control, but then you have to hold the other space by yourself, and in general it isn't quite as good as a Killjoy or a Cypher, where you can just place your turret, place your alarm bot, and then just wait for them to get your that map information. And you also lose all of your map information as soon as your wall is triggered, and this is a thing, especially in higher lobbies, that gets made pretty often. That would be it from me. If you want to see any other agents on any other maps, write them down in the comments, and if you want to see anything else Valorant related, write it down there as well. And as always, don't forget to like and sub, and come say hi to me on Twitch, where I stream almost daily. Have a great rest of your day, and see you guys very soon. Bye!